Hey everybody, it's Brooke. I'm back with our Jalbum. This is part 2. We are going to make our spine piece, and we are going to make our base pages for the mini album section of our book. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're not new. Stick around, we're going to have some fun. Okay, so here's the cover that we made last time, and we are using the Creepy Baby freebie from the Facebook group. Oh, she's upside down. That makes her even creepier. And this is the Creepy Baby Digi Kit in my Etsy shop, which as of today, October 11th, 2023, is 25% off. That will be linked down below as well. And it's actually all the digitals in my shop are 25% off through Halloween. Because, well, yeah, better late than never, right? Okay, so this is a quick flip through of the Digi. And we're using both of those kits. And I'm using some old scrapbook paper from Michael's, old Halloween scrapbook paper. So it doesn't matter. The good thing about Creepy Baby is just about anything will match. Solid black cardstock, different Halloween kits, because it's got the oranges and the greens and the blues and some purples. These two kits really will match with almost anything that you have. So that works out really well. So what we're going to do is, this is the inside of our book. We haven't decorated the end papers or anything or put in the end papers. What we're going to do is make our spine piece here. And I realized this piece of paper is the one I cut wrong yesterday. I was going to use it on the cover, and I cut it wrong. However, I think it's exactly the right size to be our spine piece. So my book, of course the measurements will change depending on what book you're using. If you didn't just finish a Janet Ivanovich novel and want to use that, then you'll have a different size book. But that's upside down. My book covers are 6 inches by 9.5. So I want my spine piece to be 9 1/4. It's going to be half an inch or a half an inch. 9.5. A quarter of an inch. Sorry, mathing again. It's going to be a quarter of an inch short of my spine because I don't want those pages butted right up against the edges, the top and the bottom. So it's going to be 9.25 by the width of my spine, which is 2 inches. Okay, so that's the piece we're going to make here. So this guy is going to need to be 9.25 high and 10 inches wide. So let's see. That's 9.5 high, and it's 10.5 wide. So if I just trim off a quarter of an inch, we are good to go, and we can use that paper that I made a boo-boo with yesterday. Cool. So I'll go to 9.25 and cut that down. Probably won't save that because, you know, that's pretty small. And then I'll get out the scoreboard. Okay, so here's our scoreboard. And I'm going to score on the back just because it might be a little easier for you guys to see. I know the black paper is hard to see. So I'm going to put this right up in the corner. This is my 0. And where's my tool? There we go. This is just an embossing tool. I find it works a little better than the bone folder because it's thinner. I lost the bone folder that came with my scoreboard. No idea where it went. So this is a little bit of a finer point. So what I'm going to do is go into 2 inches and score there. And then I'm going to score every 3/4 of an inch. So that's 2 3/4. What is that? 3.5 would be the next one. Gosh, there's so much mathing on the fly. 3.5, 4 1/4 would be 5. Making sure to hold that in place. And then 5 3/4. And then let's see, 5 3/4 would be 6.5 would be the next one. and then 7 1/4. And 8 would be the next one. Nope, I just scored in the wrong place, but that's okay. So 8 was the next one, and then 8 3/4 will be the next one. And then 8 3/4, that'll be 9 1/2 will be the next one. Is that right? I think I did one too many. Let's check. Okay, so what we want is, this one's going to be a little, it's going to be one of the little hinge things. This one's going to be flat, hinge. Those two will be glued together, flat, hinge, hinge. Oh, and then 8 to 10. Yep, so I did one too many scores, so that's okay. So you're just going to score from 2 inches to 8 inches, leaving 2 inches on either side, not scored. Hopefully that makes sense. Can you see those marks I made? Barely. Okay, so then we're just going to move our scoreboard, and we will start folding. I will fold on each one of the score marks, start training that paper. Oh, and I found my new Fabri-Tac. You'll be happy to know I did accuse Victoria falsely. She did not swipe it. It fell off the shelf where I put it and hit itself. So that was totally on me. Victoria's name has been cleared. Just folding all those score marks we made. Oops, that one's a little off. I want to make sure you get that straight. There we go. And if you missed the first episode, this is an old Martha Stewart Halloween pad that I'm using. It didn't have a name on it. It's cute, and the paper's nice and heavy, and it doesn't seem to crack, which is excellent. But I don't even know if Martha Stewart makes scrapbook paper anymore. Does she? Does anyone know? Okay, so we've got that all folded on our score marks, and what we will do is we will put, I'm actually going to use my wet glue, because why not? I don't have any thick double-sided tape. I thought I had some, and I don't, so I'm saving what I do have. Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue right here along this first scored bit, being generous. Oops, getting it on my mat, of course. Let me hold that up, maybe you can see it better. Okay, so can you see it's scored right here? I'm just going to fold that over like that, so that meets the piece next to it. And if you guys have made mini albums, I'm sure you've done this 8,000 times, so you know exactly what you're doing. Burnish that. Then I'm going to skip one and go to the next 2 pieces. And I'm gonna, that's some fine English, very lazy. And then glue that. Don't want anything coming apart, so I'll be generous with the glue. Then I'll fold that over so those 2 pieces are glued. Why do I not have a glue page out? Let's get our mat out. That's why my mat looks the way it does. Shame on me. Okay, get that out. That's a better idea. Okay, so that's all nice and glued and burnished. Guess I was a little crazy with the glue, but that's okay. That is why we have a glue eraser. Okay, and then on that last, we're going to skip another section and then put glue on the next section. And fold down so those 2 pieces that are next to each other are glued. There we go. It's nice and squished down. Put our pin back in our art glitter glue. At least I said the right glue this time. Boy, yesterday's video I couldn't get the right words out to save my life. Get that of the way, and then we'll just wiggle these little hinge guys. I don't know what they're called. They must have a technical name, right? Just want to work that paper and get those moving nicely. Okay, and then what we're going to do is take our double-sided tape, and this is 1/4 inch. Probably 1/2 inch would be better, but I don't have any. And we're going to run it on the outside edge of each one of these little hinges. Ooh, I am going to run out. And I cannot get this locally in any size. Okay, so there's that one. I do not have enough on there to go down another one. So we'll move to the paper tape. We'll flip that over and we're going to go right on the outside edge. I'll hold it up so you guys can see a little better. Put another strip there. Right on the very edge. Don't go over. So can you see that it's like right along that outside edge, as is the one on the other side. Okay, so we'll just keep doing that on all 3. This one looks like it's going to run out too. Uh-oh. And Amazon has almost gotten back to 2-day delivery up here, but not always. So I guess I'll try to go order some score tape and hope that it comes in 2 days. Maybe it will. Otherwise, we'll be using wet glue. I hadn't looked for my double-sided tape for quite some time, so I was surprised to see I didn't have any. And then one more. Oh, and that one is out also, so we're going to have 2 pieces. Shoot. Alright then, let's cut that there. And maybe the one that ran out over here will finish up that hinge thing. It's called a hinge, you guys. What's it called? Nope, not quite. So we will have to finish that one off with glue. And that will be okay. Now I'm busting out the little tiny 1/8 of an inch tape, because that is all I have left. And I'm going, you can barely see that. I will also add some glue when we go to put our pages on. And cut that off. I don't want any excess hanging off because it gets in the way and sticks to everything. Burnish those down. Put that over. We already did that side. Oh, goody. Okay. So we've got those all done. I don't think I burnished this first one. Make sure that's good. All right. So those are looking excellent. I'm trying to figure out if this has... Does this have a direction? I guess the spiders look better upside down, huh? Okay, so what will happen when we are ready is this is going to go right into the center of our book, right, center it right in the spine. Okay, and these guys will go over to help anchor onto our book pages, and we'll have these all good to go. So I'm not going to put it in yet because we have some other things to do, but let's go ahead and make the base pages for these little spine guys. Hinge guys, whatever they are. So again, my book is 9.5 tall by 6 inches wide. So I want my base pages cut at 9.25 high and 11.5 wide. Remember we made this, is that gonna be right? Am I? Hold on guys, I gotta check my math. I'm not sure that's right. I'll be right back. I didn't think that looked right. It's a good thing I went and checked my math because we want our base pages to be 9.75 high because our spine piece is 9.25. So we need 1/2 inch more than the length, and then we want it to be 11.5 inches wide. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move our spine, get our cutter out. We could go crazy, be bold, and cut 2 at one time. That probably is crazy, huh? Get that cutter. And I want it to be what did I say, 7.5, right? So it's 9 3/4 high. Get that all squared up. Save these pieces. 9 3/4. And then we said our book was 6 inches wide, so it's 12 doubled, and I don't want it to go right to the edge of the page. So I'm going to go ahead and do this at 11.5. Okay, get that right up. Oh, you can't even see that. I'm sorry. All this mathing is doing in my head. It's really not very hard. It's mostly in 1/2 inch increments. Okay, so we've got those cut down. Get the cutter out of the way. We'll bring the scoreboard back up. And what we want to do is on the bottom edge, we want to score at 1/2 inch. Okay, so at the bottom edge, we'll score at 1/2 inch. And then in the center, what is the center? Let's see, 11.5. What is 1/2 of 11.5? 5 3/4. So I will score at 5 3/4. Do the same thing on the other piece. I've actually got 3 of them, but I did one of them, so you didn't have to watch me do all of them. So we've got 5 3/4. I figured 2 would be enough. You'd probably get the idea by then. And then we want to go, it doesn't matter which one is the bottom, I don't think. It's not directional. Nah. Okay. And then we'll just go to 1/2 inch here. She says. Oh, that went terribly wrong. I went all kinds of jaggedy. Well, it's a little quieter here today, so I have no excuse for being as frazzled as I was yesterday. I apologize about the crazy video. It was still kind of chaos around here. Hard to concentrate. Okay, so then what we will do is we will fold it in the center, line up those edges, make sure everything is looking good. Burnish that down. Then we'll fold up our 1/2 inch at the bottom. And again, these will be the base pages for our mini album pages. Set that one aside. We'll do the same on this one. Looking at this pattern on the computer screen makes me feel dizzy. It's not so bad in real life, but looking at it on my screen in front of me, it's making me feel a little weird. Making my eyes go crazy. And we'll fold that up at the bottom. That's our 1/2 inch. Okay. Then I'm going to take my little cutting square. You could do this just by hand if you want to, but I cannot cut straight with scissors, no matter what. So I'm going to use my little craft knife. And I'm going to take off the front part of the flap that we just made, the 1/2 inch flap. I'm going to take off the front part because we don't need that. So I'm going to cut from the horizontal line where we folded it in half. I'm going to cut from there all the way down to the edge of the page. Hopefully that makes sense, or at least you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to cut right there, and then I'm just going to miter that a little bit. And as long as we're here, I will miter this one a little bit as well. And we'll do the same on the other page. So this is how it will look. Okay. It's folded on in the middle here, and then it's folded up at the bottom. So what I'm doing is cutting from this line, this horizontal fold line, and cutting out this entire flap on the left-hand side, because we only need one. Line this back up. See if I can get this remotely straight. That would be good. Okay. Trying to find my horizontal line. Cloudy today. And some of my lights have burned out. The ceiling is so high. We have to get someone to come in and change all the bulbs, because I really don't want Mark up on a 12-foot ladder, you know. So I guess until then, I'm going to be working in the dark. So now we have these, and what we will do is, once again, We will burnish that. Get out my art glitter glue. You could use double-sided tape if you had some. You could use Fabri-Tac, whatever glue you like. Put our glue right along there. And just close this up. And that is our base page all done. Again with the glue on my mat. I don't learn, do I? Let's get our little mat out. Try that again. There. Get glue on that one little flippy updo. Oh, that's the wrong side. Did I do the wrong side on the other? We starting this whole video over? Oh no, I did the right side. Okay, so. Gosh, Brooke. I said I had no excuse to be so frazzled, and look at me go. Okay, I think we got that unstickied. Fold it up, and then put the glue on it. Yeah. Making sure it goes all the way to the edges. You want this to be nice and strong. Fold that up. Let's give this a little burnish, and this time the glue will go on my mat instead of my cutting mat. It will go on my glue mat. Much better. Great. Okay, so then we have a little pocket in there. What will happen is, once we do all of our prep, I like to do all my prep before I put these pages onto the little hinges. I prefer to do the decorating of them while the page is out of the book. I just think it's easier. But what we can do to get ready for that is take each one of our little flaps, our little hinges, okay, where we have the tape, and I'm going to miter those. So I've got my scissors, and I'm just going to clip those corners. Just a little bit. It'll make it easier for the pages to slide on when we go to do that. So I'm doing that on all three of those hinges. They're not really hinges. Why is the word escaping me? I don't know. Okay, so we got those all mitered, and then what will happen is we'll do our pages on here, on our base pages, and the base pages will slide right onto our hinges, just like so. And get taped down, they'll get centered, they'll get taped down, and they will flip, and we'll have this pretty gold paper peeking out from behind, in between. So that is the whole concept of that. The next thing you want to do before the next video is to gather up our journal pages to start folding them up and getting them put in here. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Oh, we did do it. Good. I thought I skipped a whole step. Good grief. I'm gonna have to cut back on the coffee or something. So this is all ready to go. It's all folded up. Our hinges are good and flexible. They're doing exactly what we want them to do. We need to gather up the papers that you want to bind in as your signatures. So we will do that on the next video. In the meantime, you can make your spine, you can make your base pages, you can make whatever you want. You do you. But I'll be back shortly, not in this video, but in the next video, and we will bind in our pages. And I think that's all. You know what we could do while I'm thinking about it? Before I say goodbye, let's get these out of the way. Those can go. I'm going to take some masking tape again, and let's see if we can do it without that terrible noise. Go slowly, Brooke. Go slowly. You could use Tyvek, you could use fabric, whatever you feel is a good thing to strengthen the paper for binding. And that's just going to go right down the middle on those two pieces of the two sections that we did not fold. Let's go ahead and cut that off. Throw that away, get my scraper tool, and now we are really ready to go. In the next video, we will be ready to bind in our pages. So gather your journal pages, whether it's vintage pages, the Creepy Baby digital, some other digital, did I say book pages? Whatever it is that you want to use in your signatures. And we'll bind those in next time. Okay, so this video was a little shorter than yesterday. That's better. And I'll be back real soon. Keep making our Jalbum. Thanks so much for stopping by, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.